Welcome to Granny's Legacy. It's officially Up Close and Personal Thursday, and we're excited to share with you today our Holly Jolly project. Holly Jolly is a Christmas project because we're doing holidays ahead and the Christmas in July and just getting ready for Christmas this summer. And so we're excited to style it and show you some up close views of it because sometimes when you just see pictures online, you don't really see how cool and unique the project is. So the goal of today is to let you let you see some unique things about Holly Jolly, and then also demonstrate some ways that it could be used in your home this holiday season. So let's just look at the project up close here. I'll give the camera a second to zoom in. So this project is, I believe, 13.5 by 22, or right in there. Those exact measurements are on our website. I need to get better at looking at ahead of time. So as you can see, this project is just bright, I wouldn't say bright, true colors and perfect for Christmas. With the red poinsettias, your traditional holly leaves, and then we've jazzed it up. We've embellished the centers of the poinsettias with beads, and then also colonial knots, because as you know, real life poinsettias have, I think Mom has told me before, she's behind the camera here today with Kari.
Good morning.
And she's the flower lady, and what we've put here with the beads and the colonial knots is actually the bloom.
It is.
So when we think of poinsettias, we think that the red leaves are the bloom, but actually the bloom is the, what do you want to call it, that textury, clumpy middle.
Yes, and then the red are bracts.
These are bracts. So anyways, and then we've used a beautiful variegated twinkle wool for the bracts, or the red petals, you might call them, or think of them as. Christmas we oftentimes think of as the season of light. And so it's really nice. This twinkle wool just really gives a nice little burst of sparkle. It just really brightens up the project and gives it some life. For the holly, you can see we've just done a simple back stitch down the middle of the holly leaf to secure that, which is more than enough to hold that down because we do use the fusible method of applique. So everything is adhered. We're just adding decorative. So we've just back stitched each leaf. And then once again, for some more dimension and interest, for the holly berries themselves, we've used some red glass beads. All the beads on this are glass beads, which is a nice quality addition. And then for the chain stitching, these swirls, we've actually used our press and seal method. So that's actually the first thing you do when you get the project kit and you start with the pattern. The first step after you cut your background is to add these silvery swirls. And like I said, we've used the press and seal wrap, so your whole project will lay out perfect because you have the perfect layout for your swirls. So then you know exactly where to put your hollies, and then of course your poinsettias too. So that helps make the project go a little simpler. And then our winter berries here are actually white velvet, and that adds once again some more sparkle and light to the project. And they're simply attached with a silver colonial knot at the top. Once again, everything is fused, so it is attached. We're just adding the thread work. In this case, is merely an embellishment or an accent. Anything I missed there, Mom? Or?
No. Beautiful.
So that is our Holly Jolly project, and it has been a favorite the last couple of years here at Granny's, and it is just charming and cheerful. And I think this is something that if you stitch for gifts, this is something that pretty much anybody, no matter the age, would enjoy. It's it doesn't really have, I wouldn't say it's super modern or super traditional. I think it's something just kind of timeless and classic. There you go. So let's get started styling it. So today, Mom and I have brought in a family heirloom table that is in desperate need of refinishing. Before you judge it too much, I'll tell you why it has not been refinished in the last 25 years. You can see that the top is rather damaged. That is because the about 8 or 9-year-old version myself was doing my fingernails sitting in my mom's chair when I was little, and I spilt the fingernail polish remover all over the top of my mom's table. So I think it's one of those things that it just has kind of got, even though my parents, the whole time I was growing up, they refinished things and they found joy in stripping down tables and refinishing them. I think the reason this one never had its chance is because it was a family memory. I'm not quite sure, but it was quite naughty of me at the time, and I'm not even sure I told my mom about it. I might have even covered it up with a doily at the time, but
I think so.
I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking it would make a nice 4-H project next year for a little 9-year-old. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, we're going to use this table today. It's a bigger side table. It's a parlor table, actually, an antique heirloom in our family, and it's a little bit larger than probably most end tables and a little bit smaller than coffee tables. But we thought it would be perfect because what we style on this, you could envision on your center island, on an end table, on a coffee table, on a countertop. It's just a pretty usable size space that you could probably recreate several places within your home. So to get started, we could just style right on top here, and that would be totally okay. You know, we could put some trees here and some stuff over here, and we could totally style just right on top of the table, and that would be beautiful. However, if you've hung out with me for longer than 20 seconds, you know that I personally like layers. Growing up, my mom always had doilies under things, and she always had a runner or a beautiful placemat on our center island with a basket of fruit, or even our dining room table always had something in the middle that we had to clear to set the table for supper every night.
You did.
We did. So I don't know if I like it just because it's the way it's been my whole life, or if I like it because it's actually a thing. But we've gotten some positive feedback, so I'm just going to keep showing you the way I like to do things. So this is just one of our linen tea towels that we have for embroidery. It has kind of that Turkish towel look to it that's so trendy right now. This one is 100% linen, so it has a really nice, soft, silky feel. So you could put that, and I think I heard Mom say that she has used these for centerpieces at her house before.
I always put them on the diagonal, though. I'm not sure why, but you're going to style on it, so you probably want it straight. So.
But yes, you could put it on the diagonal. I'm just going to show that, and it would give it a little dimension. And then our fig tree here's in the way. And then you could just style right on top of it. But before I go too far, I'm going to show you how the look of the project changes with the look of the...
So that one's the linen one. Do we know what that one's called? That one's called the...
I think this is the mini stripe towel. This is the black. It also is available, and I think it's called mushroom. And it's kind of an olivey green stripe instead of black stripe. It's really pretty too. Here, hang on. I'll grab one quick. Yes, it is the mini stripe towel, and they just press up so beautifully, being linen. So this one, I think it's actually called mushroom, but I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up. It's actually a green stripe. It looks more greeny to me, at least. So those are just really pretty, and they have a beautiful feel to them.
So would it look pretty on the green one too?
Let's try it out. So it's all about color. You can just do, I'm just going to set it
Whatever
on
whatever looks right in your house, either the gray or
I'm going to do that. Well, maybe I'll put it on the diagonal. That looks nice. We'll go this way.
So it really pops on the gray one, though. But the green one for your house, depending on your home, it would be pretty too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll set that one aside, and then I've got a couple other options here I'm bringing out just so that we can pick the best. And at the end, I think I'm going to let Kari pick which one she wants me to leave on to style with. This one I personally love. I live in as you maybe have heard before, it's like a 120-year-old farmhouse that I live in, and so I have more of the. It's not as fancy. It's a little more contemporary, simple, and I kind of like that. So that's how it would look. And this one is in our Americana towel trio that we have for the summer, or you can get it anytime. So that's kind of pretty. What's your reflections on that one?
I like it. In your home, that's perfect.
So like I said, what you put under it totally reflects your personal style. So that's the one I'll be using this Christmas. And then this one Mom also suggested, and I agree with her because it has a stripe and it adds some interest. And this one is also available with a black stripe. This is the mushroom. I should grab a black too. Don't have one out here. Okay, but it's also available with a black stripe. And so what's nice about this one is it does add, because it has that stripe, it does add another dimension, another direction, another level of texture. So that's fun. But as you can see, it just adds, I don't know, I think we had this one on, but I'm not sure if I laid the project on it. So we'll do it again, just in case I didn't actually show what it looked like with the project. So that's the black mini stripe. So you can see that that is kind of cool. So it's really just what, like Mom said earlier, is what color matches your home and what texture kind of matches your style. It's all what's good for you. But it is kind of nice to give it a resting point. To give it something, it's like this is a picture and we're matting it to frame it. It just adds a nice background touch. Oh, Mom found the black one. So we'll try
this polka dot.
Oh my gosh, that is adorable.
Or this gray flock.
Yes. So we're gonna get this one down here first. So you can see this is the black stripe. And it's not been pressed yet, so my apologies there, but you can get the picture.
That'd be pretty in your home too.
That would be, it's a little...
This gray flock would be pretty.
Very pretty. And this is in our, I believe it's called the Cafe towel trio. Even that black bordered one would be cute. Pretty much anything in there would be cute. And this is our Christmas one. I think we called it Mrs. Claus's Kitchen. So this polka dot is what Mom is reflecting on. That would be super cute. Along with even this bordered one. Any of these would really maybe be a cool accent. So it's just thinking outside of the box, because the towels we sell are not the feed sack towels that you think of when you think of embroidery. They're absolutely beautiful. So for today, which one should we use, Kari?
That original one you had was pretty.
The black stripe?
I like that red checker one.
What's the first one you had? The very, very first
one. The very, very first one was this one right here. This one. Okay.
I like the
The red
red one.
one? Okay. We'll go with this one though, because it's maybe more subtle for some people. More neutral. That's so good. So
it lets the wool applique do the talking.
Yep. So now we found the mat for our project. If you think about it as a frame, it's a picture that you're matting and framing type of thing. It gives you a different feel. And so as I grew up with my mom, which has been a blessing, and I say that in a nice way.
Well, thank you.
I've learned that when you design for tables and when you design for mantles, you need to think of different heights. If this was going to be on my kitchen table, it should not be too tall that the people sitting on each side of the table cannot see over it to see each other. So if this was on my table and I was going to leave it there for a dinner party, I wouldn't want to put like tall trees on it or something like that. I would want to think shorter. So we're going to pretend this is right now on my kitchen table and I'm setting up for a dinner party. Sound good? Let's see. So you'd maybe want, no, I don't think this would be too tall. You could put a cute basket.
That would not be too tall. You can see over it. It would not get in your eyesight.
And then how about those little sparkly branches? Let's see what a sparkly branch does. And now I'm not sure how you feel about glitter in your house. Some people are like, no glitter, no way. But in my house, we like glitter. It makes a mess. I get it. But I think this one I have bent so it'll fit around there. So we'll use this one first. But and most of the time, glitter usually only makes a mess until you get it settled in. So you can add. And now you see how I did that? I just took just a basket. You can buy these absolutely anywhere. You can get them at big box stores. You can get them at home goods stores. You can get a basket, a wire basket, anywhere. And this is a battery operated candle. Here, let's turn it on. And since Christmas is the season of light, it's the perfect time to use things like candles and stuff like that. So that's why I opted for that.
What would happen if you just scatter seeds around it?
We'll get to that in a minute. How does that sound? And then I think it needs one more thing. Kari, can you hand me one of those red poinsettias over there? Maybe two. Let's see what happens if we add maybe one right here. We'll tuck in there kind of. Yeah, and maybe one on here for the person sitting on that side of the table. What do you think? What else does it need?
Yes.
So that's kind of simple.
And those poinsettias are we have a poinsettia pattern that makes those three-dimensional poinsettias.
These ones, yes.
And it's just called poinsettia.
Poinsettia a la carte.
Yes.
And so that's one option for if it was like a tabletop type thing. And then when I'm done with glitter, we'll vacuum later. Let's get the glitter. There we go. And then if this were on a, let's say, should we do like, what should we pretend it is now? How about the hearth of your fireplace? If you're one of those people that have a really cool fireplace and you have like a hearth that's actually wide, you can put stuff on, let's pretend it's that. So we can use, and this is like super long, so we're gonna put that there, and then let's do something with height, shall we? Let's go big, like big. Should we use those tall trees over there, do you think? Or should we use those a mixture of tall trees?
Let's use, yep.
Yeah.
Which one?
Those ones.
Yep. Those you have, Kari.
So let's pretend you have a big space to decorate. Yep, you're good. Now let's put it kind of right here. And what I love about trees is actually probably now you can start going to your crafting supply stores and they are on Christmas mode. So you can get trees pretty much anywhere.
I think we need a couple more of those.
And the fun thing about trees is that you can mix and match different textures, different colors, different styles. You can totally mix and match. Let's grab another. I like this one. It has pine cones on it. So let's add that guy. And these are adjustable if I remember right. So let's go tall with that one. And let's put that little one right here. Yeah. So you can totally mix and match with trees. So you can make a forest. What is the forest missing, Mom?
It's cute. What happens if you put your lantern with it?
Ooh.
Does it not blend well with trees?
I bet it does. It kind of, what if I move this tree over here and kind of nestled it in there? You could have a lantern.
And a live poinsettia on the side, you'd have it perfect.
Exactly. Yep. And then another thing we can't forget because, and you could also add, like, keep in mind, if this was like a really big, long, you could add a couple more trees and tuck in a cute sign to add another layer of texture and dimension. So that's fun. And then as this is the season of light, you can't go without Christmas lights. I have not practiced this. I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, but there you go. You hold that, and I'm
these little mini. I can't remember what they're called. They're little LED mini lights.
I
have just been wire lights. I love them. I put them around everything at our house.
And I'm just kind of making some loops and poking them down in because they're just adding a sparkle, and you don't really see. I'm not sure if that's showing up quite
there
right.
We are, yeah.
But
it does show up. Yeah. And it actually kind of complements the little velvet little things. Little velvet mistletoes.
Oh, now they're on twinkle. These ones have like 18 modes. Yours don't have to flash.
Only 8 modes.
You could also do something like.
There you go. That's beautiful.
Like that.
Perfect.
I think some of them have a color mode too.
So as you can see, you can just be really fun with different heights, different magnitudes. You can make your arrangement small with smaller things or big with lots of things. So it's just kind of fun to use your wool pieces as you decorate and to think outside of the box. So there anything else I need to add today? So thank you for joining us for Up Close and Personal Thursday. It's been fun styling with you today, and we hope we have inspired you to use your wool pieces in your decor this holiday season. So thank you for joining us, and happy stitching.